everyone, welcome back. It's a nice cold afternoon out here in central Illinois. We had some snow this morning, and I'm out here. I got the shop warmed up. We're going to start taking stuff apart to get that engine and transmission out. I haven't completely finished polishing Camille yet. I need to get some more buffing compound. I got pads and everything, but I need some more compound and then some kind of sealer wax or something to put on it. Be honest, if I had the extra funds right now, I would try that Bi-Script Garage clear coat wipe on system. It seems to be pretty nice. I seen his episode where he used it, and I've seen a couple other people talk about it, but funds are a little tight, so we'll have to hold off on using something like that. If I wind up washing her and stripping the wax and stuff on it that's off, I think I'd like to try it and see how it looks, since I want the more shiny look, you know, rather than the matte. I do like the matte and the satin finishes, but I gotta admit, I like seeing, you know, the reflections of the light and stuff that you set up next to it. I don't know, and it's the original paint, so but it's something that we might try later on, maybe. I don't know when. We'll just see what happens. But right now, this week, I want to go ahead and get the engine and transmission out, get the other transmission cleaned, look at it, see, you know, make sure everything's good. I'm probably going to have to order some seals and parts or something for it, for the Taurus. I believe there's a gasket that goes in there, and it's between your flywheel and I guess it'd be the fluid coupling. And I don't know all the technicality words and stuff like that. My brain, you guys should know by now, it likes to work when it wants to. So, you know, who knows what we're going to call what. But I'm going to get set up over here. I've got it all sprayed down with my good old PB Blaster or my Love Juice. That way we make sure that everything's nice and loose. Again, the engine had been out of the car at some point in time. Craig was over, kind of looked over the car. We talked about some stuff, but it shouldn't be hard to get anything out. Granted, it's set for how long, but it shouldn't be a big deal, hopefully. But you guys will kind of come along, and I'll probably do some time-lapse video in there whenever it's, you know, taking a while and stuff, so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me monkey around all the time and listen to me flap my gums. So, but anyway, let me get everything set up, and we'll get started over there pulling the radiator and rad support. All right, guys, so you can see over here on the table, I've got some just basic tools right now, nothing major. I'm sure that'll add as I'm going. I have to put my bolts in. I like these things, they're cheap. I think you can pick them up at Harbor Freight, relatively cheap. I think they're like under $1. I usually get 3 or 4 of them at a time, just plastic, but it comes in handy keeping all your stuff together, your nuts and bolts, and but yeah, and I've got my impacts and stuff, so but I'm going to get to work. I'm going to move you guys over to the other side, and where maybe you can see a little bit better, and we'll get to work and start pulling this off. Alright guys, so finally got that radiator out, and tell you what, that thing ain't light, nor was it as easy as I thought it was going to be. Get you zoomed out here a little bit. Probably better there, I guess. But well, you can see just got those 2 bolts that are down here. I'll have to get them from underneath. And then I got bolts back here for the mid mount on both sides. And of course, unhook all that good stuff. And I'm going to take my time just because I've never pulling one of these, and I don't want to tear anything up if I can keep from it. But yeah, I'll get to working on all that. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so you guys can see I got everything unhooked from the top. I was being really careful with my thermostat tube because that's a filled capillary, and you just can't replace those, and it does work, so I didn't want to mess it up, so I took my time. I had sprayed it some more. Everything I had already sprayed down a couple times throughout the week, tried to make sure everything would loosen up. But yeah, it came out, and then I got my oil pressure tube over there. Again, it's original, so I take my time with it. Everything else right now is down below, so I'm actually gonna turn the heat back on real quick, and I'll get this jacked up, put it on some jack stands. Safety first, people. Don't want one of these big old girls falling on you. You won't feel so good afterwards. But I'm going to get underneath and start breaking some stuff loose, and then we'll get the cherry picker over here and get her straddled here somewhere. Probably go off the exhaust down here and back over there. I don't know. I got plenty of chain and bolts and whatever, and not for sure, but we'll figure it out. So I'll get back to work and see where we get. Okay, so I got front motor mounts and the starter wires. Now, it did take me a little bit on the starter wires because, lo and behold, blew my mind, the nuts that are on there that holds the wires on are metric. Don't get that. Maybe it was a rebuilt starter. I don't know. I still got more stuff to unhook. Mama called and said, hollered out and said it was time for supper, so probably going to clean up. It's getting cold in here again. The wind's blowing. If you've seen my garage, I got some insulation on the walls, but nothing in the ceiling, and a big old drafty garage door. So I may just clean up, go in, eat. I don't know if I'm going to do some more work. I got to be able to get my jack up back underneath there so I can hold the back of the transmission up. The cross member for the mid mount on this, where the motor and transmission actually mount to, I think on the other 56 that I got out there, it was riveted in. This one here has been bolted, so it's already been taken out, and I think I'm going to do that so that way I don't have to worry about keeping the back of that transmission up and that pan trying to clear. I know there's plenty of room. It's just it's going to be easier. It's 3 bolts on each side. Undo them, pull it out, drop it. It's out of the way. That way when I pick it up, it'll be able to tilt and swing a little bit easier and come out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to be back tonight and you guys watch. I mean, if you guys have done this before, you know what kind of goes into it. But it'll probably be tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be putting the cherry picker on it and getting it up out of there, and then we'll get it out here on the ground somewhere and start separating the transmissions from the engine. So I'm probably going to leave you guys here tonight, and we'll get back at her tomorrow. So catch you later. Hey guys, welcome back. It's midday Thursday. I did do some more work on it. Got the drive shaft unhooked, got the mid mount transmission bolts, the speedometer, all the wiring, shift linkages, throttle linkages, all that's disconnected. I'm taking my time on this. I've never pulled one of these before, so I'm wanting to be good and careful so that way I don't tear anything up. I've got my jack underneath there. I haven't put anything on it yet, but that's to hopefully hold the back of the transmission up for a little bit longer as I can pull it forward. There is a lot of room in here. I want to be careful of those cross supports. Turn you around here. Kind of see what I'm talking about here. Zoom out. There we go. I don't want anything hitting these. And I thought about going ahead and taking them out. And I may go ahead and do that. But this is where I'm at. I just wanted to show you guys. She is actually free right now. So she's about ready to come out. I did go ahead and take my distributor cap off. That's brand new. I didn't want anything hitting it, banging around, smashing it. So it's just sitting there. But yeah, I guess wish me luck. But I reckon I'll probably loosen these up and move them, at least move them out of the way to where maybe less likely, I don't know, it should come up high enough because I got to clear this anyway. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So hopefully the next thing you see is the engine out and hanging or sitting on the floor. So I'm going to get back to work. Okay, well, as you guys can see, I got the old beast out. Surgery is complete. Didn't tear anything up. Didn't drop it. Didn't knock the cherry picker over. That's always a good thing. I tell you what, that thing is heavy. Whoo-wee! I tell you what. But there she is. So now all I got to do is undo the bell housing bolts here. This here is the motor mount, which again it's two piece. There's actually a gasket that goes in there, which kind of stinks, but and then there's what, 1 2 3 4 5 plus these 6 7 8 9 10 11, I think 12 bolts altogether that I have to remove. Then this here will come out, and then that gives me access to the 32 bolts that go around the Taurus here and the flywheel that bolts this together. Then I have to get in from the inside on the back side of the flywheel to get these 6 bolts to the crank, and then that will allow the transmission to scoot away from the motor. Boy, it'd been nice if these were a lot simpler, but it is what it is, and we're making it happen, so that's what counts. So I'm going to take a little break, clean my hands, kind of look everything over for a little bit, and probably get to taking all those bolts and stuff off, and yeah, we'll see what we get by the end of the day, I guess. Hopefully it'll be a separated transmission. So, catch you guys back here in a little while. Okay guys, so I did finish getting all of that. Excuse me, let me take you out of this holder here. I want you guys to look down here at this. I don't know if you guys can see it very well with the camera. There, you might be able to see it a little better, but I see sparkly stuff. Yep, that means metal. So I mean, it could be clutch material, which is more than likely what it is, especially since I wasn't able to get it to move forward. When I got this car, there was no fluid in it whatsoever. So, yeah, but that right there, you can see that is all shiny and metal. So, we definitely got something going on in there. Again, I don't know what, but I guess at some point in time we will find out. So, all right, I'm going to get this back down on the ground now. Make me some room again, and go back to trying to separate this from the front mounting plate, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's the bell housing, but again, it's a two-piece. So you got this piece here, and then you got the transmission. So I've got to separate those two so I can get in to get the flywheel bolts that are connected to the back of the motor, to the crank. So Yeah, but once this is out of the way, then I should be able to access that. There's a little bit of movement in play. I guess we'll find out. Again, this is my first time doing this, so I'm kind of taking my time and trying to be easy and not for sure about a lot of things. So it may take me a little while, but we'll get her out. So we'll catch you guys back here in a little while. All right, everyone. As you can see, we finally do have full separation, and I guess I kind of led you wrong. Once I got the Taurus unbolted from the flywheel, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was getting it back down on the ground and separating the back piece of the bell housing from this, and then all I had to do was just raise the motor up off of it, and it just came out the bottom. So I don't have to take my flywheel off the back of the motor, which is good because, I mean, again, I was told this was rebuilt, and every time I get into something, you know, I see that's a good bearing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's clean. It's, you know, and that's the pilot bearing. So I don't want to have to mess with any of that stuff if I don't have to. When I had it running stuff, I never did notice any motor drips on the back side, so I don't see why I would need to pull this and everything off to access the back of the motor and maybe change the rear main. Now granted, I'm saying that, and then you watch, I'll start driving it more regular and I'm going to get a drip. And I know the process now, and it stinks. To get these separated and to get to that back. So it's something I'm going to toss around in my head. I'm going to see if I can find the parts for it. I think there's some places where you can get some of these seals, but here they are sitting side by side. That's the one we just took out, and that's the one we got from Craig. So that one there, I do have to order the gasket that goes on this. It comes with all... It's a complete gasket kit that will go for anything on the outside. So both the side cover, oops, guys, if I can get my hands out of your way here. But it's the side cover, the pan. I believe there's gaskets that go on the shifter linkages where it comes through the inspection cover. There's a couple other gaskets come with it. It comes with a new rear main, tail shaft back there, the gasket that goes there, plus the Taurus cover. It's like $106, and I was only able to find it on eBay. So yeah, like normal when it comes to doing something, you know, if you just don't readily have a lot of cash available, you know, you do what you can when you can. So and that's fine, because I still want to clean this and look at it, make sure there's, like I said, there's nothing major in the bottom of the pan. And then I'll probably, you know, rebuild it out of a spray can. But no, seriously though, it'll probably get painted. I'm not looking to make it look, you know, fancy or anything, but we'll just throw some, you know, kind of like what this was, like all that spray bumper chrome, I guess. I don't know, but we'll get that painted. I am planning on cleaning up on the engine, get it kind of cleaned up, and I don't know, it's black. So I know Pontiac is Pontiac blue, but everything on this is black, even down below. The only place I ever did see any type of the Pontiac blue was on the front mount on the one that I got from Craig. It had been, you could see that there was some Pontiac blue on there, but I don't know. I kind of want to paint it while I've got it out, but I haven't made up my mind, because if I do that, I really want to take the intake off, put new intake gaskets on it, take this valley pan out, get it all cleaned up in there, because I did not have that downdraft tube on there, and there's gunk and stuff in there which I'm gonna get cleaned out. But really the only way to access any of that is to pull the intake and then pull that valley pan. And again, more money and more gaskets and whatnot. So, but it's gonna get cleaned regardless, and it'll just have to, you know, it'd be a here and there if I decide to get some new gaskets and stuff, and I can find them. You know, I may go ahead and do it. Don't know. So, and it gets turned around here. I think I'm about done for this week. Motor's out successfully without tearing anything up. Got the transmission separated. Got a mess to clean up, a lot of tools. But I need to start ordering some parts and do some cleaning on stuff. I wish it was nicer outside. Again, it's good and cold, so getting outside and scrubbing on it or anything like that, not exactly feasible. I've got the motor still being held up with the cherry picker. I got a block under it. I want to make sure it's stable so I can let the pressure off. Other than that, you know, just do some stuff around here in the shop, get everything cleaned up, moved around. That way I can still walk. Maybe even be able to finish doing some of the polishing while I'm waiting on parts and doing the cleaning and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get some warmer days here in central Illinois here shortly, hopefully. But yeah, I may even decide to, while I'm waiting on some of this stuff, to see how much more money I can get into and start messing around with that interior, because I actually think it'd be easier to put the floor pans in without the motor and transmission in, with where everything mounted and sits at. So that's another thing I'm contemplating. But nothing's final yet, and just need to get some parts and keep out here and keep doing it. So gonna have to make it happen, because it ain't gonna do it on its own. But anyway, we'll get out of here and let you guys get your weekend, and hopefully you got some nice weather or nice heated garage and you can get out there and make it happen, guys. So we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.